Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper. Now it's time to head out to find those orcs that we've been hearing rumors about. See how many of them we can take down. And 50 marks. Only 50! Oh well. I suppose that'll have to do for now. And let's see what we have down here. Down here we get things like pigs, bears, wolves, the usual stuff you get in the northern Bree area. I mean, we are in the horse fields. Sounds like good country for riding a horse in. And when we go down far enough, get away from that which is part of the Horsefield Darby. Oh. Avoid all those mud things. Avoid the diseased pigs. Oh. And avoid falling into the river. If I do avoid all those things, maybe I can get back to where we're going. How far we got to go? 200. Ah, here we go. Here are some ruins, which look like a perfect place for an orc camp. Tarkrif Reaver. More Reavers. But not a Red Reaper. Alright, now here, this... Alright, so we need to kill some of those. Oh, those are the ones that are just in the way. Meaning, there's no quest for them. But there are lots of them around. We do need this bow smasher. Oh, wait, is that the one I think it is? Of course, he's surrounded by umpteen orcs. I wanted to get him before he went inside, where he'd be surrounded by even more orcs. There we go. Okay, that took care of the boss at least. We don't need the Reapers. Do need this bone smasher. Ah. That's the problem with fighting something that is yellow, is that they tend not to get special effects on them very well. They're good at resisting stuff because they're higher level. I presume it has something to do with resistance on how, the way that is. Right, now, where are we? Let's see. Bowmaster. I want to see, I presume this is a level 20 quest. Level... Why am I doing a level 21? This is a level 21 quest? Alright. I didn't think that there were any level 21 quests in Bree-land. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Maybe I should have gone and finished all my level 20s before coming out here. Now why you have this level 21 quest here when you have to go all the way out to Ben Harn for a level 20 quest, I don't know. But that is the way of it apparently. But I'm just going to keep XP turned off because I still have quite a number of quests to get through before I'm ready to head on. And I'm not turning that back on until I head out to the Lowlands. And fortunately, if I manage to keep my XP off for too long, it's not going to be too much of a problem because there's always running a skirmish. Very easy to get me to 21 if I need to get there. That's all the bowmasters I need. They need a... Do I need still more bone smashers? Yeah, 4 more of them. Let me smash your bones instead. Yes. Well, maybe lightning doesn't smash bones. It... I'm not sure what lightning does to bones. Probably doesn't do too much to bones. It probably does most of its real damage is burns and fouls up the electrical system of it. Alright. Might do a bit of damage to the bone marrow. Interesting thought. But messing up the body's electrical system is certainly one way of taking care of the opposition. Right, now lots and lots of bowmasters, very few bone... Oh, there's a bone smasher down that way. Okay, have to be in its place when I do that one. Alright, where were we? There's got to be one more bone smasher around here. How am I doing on my quests for Enmity of the Goblins? More than... Yeah, no, I don't have Enmity of the Orcs 2 up yet. And that one is going to be... Well, that means getting to the Lowlands at some point so I can get those last 4 goblins for Sylvan Shadows. Oh, now there's a temptation to go and play Trouble in Tuckborough. Or Gondthon. Get those last 4. Yes. Well, Trouble in Tuckborough, yeah, very definitely will give me plenty of goblins for that. We don't need to do... the Yule Festival, that's... Well, that'll be another while before I have to worry about that again, since that's long gone. And what else have we got? See if I can get down to Hengstacer Farm without... Wait. Yeah. I guess there is the question of whether or not I should go back or head back to Hengstacer Farm. But I want to... The reason why I want to go to Hengstacer Farm first is there is another quest there today that we haven't done before, and we might as well do that. I wanted to make sure I got through the orcs first before doing that. which is why I came out here first. This is going to be tricky getting out to Nenharn. I'll probably have to do that offline with just a lot of running since it's a long distance. So there is one way to shorten the trip. Oh yes. Because Candace has a horse that can take... Not Candace. Saradin has a horse that can take you to Candace, where you're going for the next book. And it so happens that the horse he sends you on takes you right by Nenharn. So if I get off early, I can do that. But yes. Now as for how I'm doing all my deeds... Written in stone. Use any writ. Yeah. Just have to remember to use all my skills. Critically hit with any writ. Yeah, right. Now here we go. Bedbug's bite.
Why to take a moment of your time?
Are you occupied? A stable hand ran by his way to finish an errand and told me that the bedding of the new horse's stable needs to be replaced, and as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Billy, Bobby, Lizzie, and Henry, as the stable hands have named them, are finicky on who gets attention first, as they have a bit of a pecking order. We need to be careful to care them in the right order, as we must not upset them too much. We saw this pecking order in the one where we had to give them water. It seems the stable help has taken all the good pitchforks, and all I have left are the old and brittle ones. You know, this is when you're getting things really silly. You will only be able to have 3 old pitchforks on the dirty hay so many times before they will break, at which point you will have to come and see me again for another. Yes. This has to be one of the silliest premises for a quest. I mean it, one of the silliest. Maybe not quite as silly as the horse farm that doesn't have its own farrier. I mean, that can possibly be. Okay. I presume that maybe you might have a horse farm without a farrier, but I would think that there would be a farrier who would come by regularly to the place if there are other horse farms in the area. And then, of course, there's always Trestlebridge, which is closer, and you have Thornley's farm. I mean, you have a smith there who's crying to get work. But I'm just saying that sending someone all the way to Bree always seems rather weird. Alright, now I've got to actually work on the bedding here with the fresh hay. And that's the first one. And every time I interact with the thing, the pitchfork starts to get brittle. Alright, let's see. I think this is number 2. At least this one's not timed like the one with the water. Right, that's 2. No. Well, at least it can't be too bad now in the order in which I do stuff. Right, this is Lizzie, right? Yeah, because I know that Lizzie is 3rd. It's remembering the names of the other horses. That's always the tough one. Right? Well, yeah, this is number 4. Very good. Therefore, I replaced them all. It took me only 4 times. So you could get 3 things wrong, and if you get more than 3 things wrong, then your pitchfork breaks. And you have to start all over again, of course. Thank you for taking care of the horses, bedding for me. Now, how am I doing on that deed? let's see. That will be under... I think that's under reputation. No, it's not under reputation. It's under epic? Horsing around. No, yeah. Discovering the Descendant. So I've got all the small ones in here. That leaves only herding in the Troll Shawls and the Lone Lands, which has not come up yet. And those have similar traits to the one that you have in herding in the North Downs. You play the horse. You're given a quest. You fight something. Well, I guess in the Troll Shawls you could bypass the fight. But you have to at least be careful to avoid the fight if you want to avoid it. Like I'm avoiding those wolves. Alright. Those orcs are dead.
How can I be of service?
It is done then. The orcs must have overrun the valleys of the North Downs. The borders are breached. We must send a warning to my brethren far and wide. Your efforts are of great importance.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Ceradan must know that though through our efforts have been successful, we cannot know the breadth of the invasion southwards. We must also know that our brethren to the north have been unable to prevent the spread of the orc tribes. Make your way south along the greenway to the cabin and bring the news of these tidings. Yes. Bad news. The fall of the North Downs. Well, I don't know if it's completely fallen, since you have all these quest hubs that you still will find there. But obviously, the orcs were able to cross. So it's certainly not strong enough in order to prevent the orcs from going around far and wide. I guess so. Here we are. Good day. Orcs seem to have spilled over the border.
What can I do for you?
Where you succeed in stopping their spread here, we fail in the north. This is dire news. Worse yet is the news that we likely did not prevent all the orcs from moving through Bree-land. I fear that the lives of the rangers watching the passes and roadways through the southern reaches. I will continue to hold my post, but I will ask you for more assistance. For all your efforts thus far, however, I offer you thanks and a small token of the appreciation. Perch fillets. Plus 11 will. Not bad. And we might as well do this. I think in order to use that horse, I do have to complete this anyway.
How can I be of service?
I must confess that I do not know where Radagast was bound when he left here, other than eastward into the Lone Lands. I do know that he was concerned with lightning which he saw up the peak of Weathertop. One of my kinsmen, Candace, has already journeyed to Weathertop to investigate. Perhaps Radagast has joined him there. If you wish, my horse will bear you to Candace's camp. Now, I'm not going to go all the way to Candace's camp. That is a level 22 quest and is in the Lone Lands. But as I said, this horse will take me right by where I want to go next, which is for Nidhard, for all those lovely quests there, so that we could talk to Walt Whitrose, and this could allow me to pause things once we are out of the area. No, we're going by the festival grounds right now. Now there are no festivals active at the moment. And there's also a horse track you see around there. Those are the gates to the horse track. They don't have anything to do with any horse quests other than this. And I'm a... Oh. Okay, for a moment there my graphics was having trouble loading. So yes, let me take this as a pause, and I'll return when I get close enough to Nanharn that I'll have to dismount this, since I don't want to go all the way to Candate. Alright, it's time to dismount. Because if we went any farther on that mount, he would have taken us further and further into the Chetwood. And that's not what we want. But we are getting much, much closer to our destination. They're still only about 300 meters away. But that's better than going about 1,500 meters in order to go all the way through the horse fields. Now we're out to the eastern Bree-fields. And that's our destination down there. Or at least where we're going to start to pick up a few more quests. But that's what we are going to do next time. And until then, this is Pine Leaf Needles, and I'll see you for our next adventure in Pineleaf Plays, the Rune-keeper.